Kia ora koutou, no mai haere mai, and welcome to Frogs on Friday, New Zealand's market update, and our very last for the year. Can you believe it? We're in December already. You can probably see, putting my head the wrong way, Christmas tree in the background. It's all go for the end of the year. On today's show, we'll be looking at what 2024 trends will shape the 2025 talent landscape. We're joined by RCSA Head of Advocacy and Policy, Brooke Lord, to explore the defining employment and labour market trends of 2024, as well as highlight some of the industries poised to drive the recovery in 2025. That's right, things are going to get better. Also on today's show, we'll talk about, now I'm meant to be talking about public sector roles, where they're going and what to go from here, but I want to keep it light and bright for the end of the year, so I might do a last minute switch on that one, so stay tuned. Of course, we will go through our hot jobs across New Zealand, as well as opportunities with people to people in Australia and the UK. And we'll finish up with the results from our last social media poll on how committed employers are to upholding workplace diversity initiatives. Now, just before I jump into Mahi Media, last week, if you joined us, we pre-recorded because we were busy getting ready for the 𝗚 Awards, which we were up for 3 categories. So unfortunately, we didn't quite come away with the win this year, but we were runner-up for candidate experience and medium agency. So pretty chuffed with that result and very proud of the team. And I guess our ability to keep going and keep providing that value to our customers in a very challenging year. So well done to the whole Frog team and to our support from people to people. Okay, let's go into Mahi Media, the mystery topic. So, as I said, I was meant to talk about public sector jobs being back on the chopping board today, but I just couldn't. There's been so much doom and gloom this year. We've made it to December, so just a few more weeks to hang in there. So I thought, let's close out Mahi Media with something slightly lighter. And we asked the people of Aotearoa if tacky tinsel and bougie baubles should have a place in the workplace. Now, the answers came through and nearly half of you said yes, absolutely. You think it's very important to be able to bring your individual style, to pimp out your desk. And of course, at this time of year, it's a great opportunity to turn that up a notch. And I guess more than it being a way to express yourself, you also reckon that it's a way to boost your productivity. So I guess when you're feeling more comfortable and at home in your workspace, it can bring out the best of you and help give you that extra boost. Now, that reminded me that last year we found that over a quarter of Kiwi workers felt they would be more productive if they could wear shorts at work. So maybe the answer to the end of year slowdown is to put up a tree and bare the knees. Give it a go. Let's take a look now at some of the hot jobs. Okay, so first up, we're going to Wellington. So this is a contract role, nice juicy contract up to $180 per hour, and for a planning manager. So for this one here, you're looking for experience within asset management, investment planning, or a related field. For this, have a chat to Mark Smith, to find out more about this opportunity. But nice to have a really decent contract coming up at the end of the year to finish things out. Let's take a look at our perm role. This is actually a fixed term. Oh, no, it is a perm role. I'm getting confused between the roles. This is a permanent position, paying around 58 up to around 65,000 per year. And it's a blend of accounts and administration. There is some front of house work as well, so to be comfortable on reception. And it's working within the property space, so really being that go-to person in a nice close-knit team. This one's based in Onehunga, so if it sounds like the right kind of opportunity for you to work in a small team, get in touch with Kirsty to find out more. Okay, let's take a look at some of our jobs across Australia and the UK. So Brizzy has a paralegal role. This looks like a temp role there. Finance manager, so decent salary there in Melbourne, 140 to 160K. And London as well, an audit senior manager. Again, it's just a selection of the roles that we have across our people-to-people branches in Australia and the UK. If you are planning to make the move, make sure you get in touch with the great team in people-to-people, or come to us at Frog and we'll point you in the right direction. So I feel a little bit cheeky today. I kind of switched things up and took on the light topics to end things out and left the heavy lifting to Brooke Lord, so Head of Advocacy and Policy at RCSA. But Brooke, I'm sure you're up for the challenge there. Welcome to the show.
Kia ora, Shannon. Thank you for having me. It's been an interesting year in New Zealand, I think, market-wise.
It sure has, and interesting's one word for it. I'm sure lots of people have other different words they can use to describe this year. Maybe some we can't say on the show.
Well, I guess maybe the observation would be that, for many people out there, you're not alone. I think it's been a very tough year across the board. We're hearing that from our membership. Yes, we are hearing that there are some industries and some locations that might, sort of buck a trend and provide a little bit more positivity. But I think across the board, it'd be challenging to describe 2024 as anything but a little bit difficult as a year. Certainly, I know we're talking about surviving until 25. RCSA across New Zealand has been trying to promote thriving in 25. Again, the economy is going to dictate really where things land on that front. It's been interesting. We've seen in recent times interest rate cuts provide a little bit more business confidence, and even though a lot of those market indicators economically, we're still seeing softening of demand, and we're still seeing, a slight rise in unemployment. Nonetheless, certainly our members and a lot of the business confidence has started to turn a little. So fingers crossed that's an indicator that things are looking a bit better for next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I was just doing some research into business confidence, and it was amazing to see it kind of bottomed out for the year in June. And then very swiftly started to improve, and quite drastically throughout the rest of the year, and particularly after that OCR announcement in August. So, there is that feeling that surely we've gone through the worst of things, and better things are here to come. So, yeah, I think a lot of people are hanging on to we're nearly there. We've nearly made it through the end of the year, and 2025, that's going to be the year when things start to pick up and improve.
Yeah.
Now, you said there are some of those good early signs of the market recovery, and I joke about it all being doom and gloom, but there's definitely been some green shoots and more activity, and I've been really thrilled to see, particularly, it's always hard to tell what's going to happen in December, but we are getting jobs through that, right, let's get this locked away before the end of the year so that we can start out strong in 2025. What are some of the signs of the recovery, and how would you recommend to, say, hiring managers to be able to capitalise on them?
Look, we're hearing from the market that, where we've seen in recent times sort of construction and retail as industries are slightly down. Certainly, there's a lot of confidence that the government's agenda on large infrastructure projects and construction might provide some green shoots for next year. Certainly, anyone in those industries is indicating that they expect the government to sort of step back into the market from next year, which is good news. Likewise, we've seen industries such as technology, healthcare, and renewable energy all have relatively solid and growing demand. So the advice for hiring managers would be really to make sure that you are looking at cross-skilling where you've got, when you have workers in place, to make sure you're ready and available. You're building a pipeline of workers that can come in and support you in these areas where demand might pick up next year.
Yeah, absolutely. See, it's not all bad news. It's good.
It's not all bad news. And look, it's been tough. The lack of demand's been tough on industry, fewer job vacancies mean that it's been a little bit tougher for some of the job seekers to navigate the system. But you're right, there are green shoots. There are areas we anticipate seeing demand rise in 2025. And if you're thinking about it, looking for it, researching it, and skilling for it, you're best placed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a good point as well, and I've mentioned this previously. So, there is obviously the job market is a lot slower. It's very tight at the moment, and we are looking for that to improve. But one of the things is, in this kind of market, people are looking for security, and it's one of the biggest things that's important to them at the moment. So where we would usually have that natural flow of candidates moving to another role and creating those opportunities, there hasn't been as much because people are staying put, going, well, I've got my job, I'm going to do whatever I can to keep it. But we looked at, once things start to improve, if people will be on the move, and they absolutely are. So I think it was over 60% said, yes, I'll be looking for something new once things start to pick up and there is a bit more of that peace of mind that they're not going to be going into a scary market. So I think that alone is it's not going to be the big quit or anything like that, but it will start to get that movement and to create that kind of organic flow into different roles and opportunities and new challenges for people as well.
Great. I think it's a good reminder too for hiring managers to stay close to any intermediaries that they work with and anyone in our industry in recruitment, because certainly my experience has been that it's a bit the canary in the coal mine. You guys see at the coalface first, ahead of anything else, ahead of any trends that show up in data. Our industry always knows where the potential and the opportunity lies. And so you're a very good yardstick, if you will, for where, you need to be looking for workforce, where you should be building a pipeline and what areas you need to skill out. I mean, obviously AI is a no-brainer because everybody's looking for skills in AI and capacity to sort of build their own capabilities on AI. But outside of that, the nuances in the market are best found with intermediaries, and people from our industry tend to be, right at the forefront.
That's excellent. Thank you so much for coming on and for those excellent tips, and also for the shout out for the industry there. Actually, I've done this a bit around the wrong way. It suddenly occurred to me that I know who RCSA is, and you obviously do, but maybe some of our viewers don't. So let's take a step back and if you could quickly tell us a little bit about RCSA and the good work that you do.
Oh, thanks, Shannon. RCSA is the peak industry body for the recruitment and staffing sector in New Zealand, and we represent a large number of recruitment and staffing businesses across the whole of the country. So we work tirelessly to try and bring people together, help develop and expand the skills base across the industry, as well as making sure that we act as a very strong voice for the industry with government when there are issues that need to be overcome, is a polite way of putting it. When there are issues or concerns that have implications, we try to have a united voice for government and present that to them.
Yeah, absolutely, and really, really appreciate your support, particularly through some challenging times recently. Thanks again. Let's move on and have a look at our last poll for the year, see what the results were there. Okay, so we asked, is your employer all talk and no action when it comes to workplace diversity? Now, you could read the results a number of different ways, but I'm going to be positive today and say, yes, absolutely. Saying that they're not all talk, they actually back up what they're saying and put in some great initiatives was the winner on this poll, 54%. So we'll take the win and go with that one. So maybe a little bit more work to go. I couldn't help myself. I had to say that, but the positive one gets the win. Okay, that is it. We've made it to the end of the year for Frogs on Friday. Thank you for joining us today and all across the year. We're going to have a well-deserved break. I'm sure you will as well. And we'll be back again, of course, in the new year, keeping you up to date with everything that's happening in the world of work in New Zealand. Have a great break and see you next year.